Hello, namaste everyone. Hello Dallas and very good morning and hello to all my global viewers. Thank you so much for joining and I hope you all are doing wonderful and having a fantastic day here in US and of course and global viewers. I hope you had a great day or you are also having a good day as well. I'm your host Anu Benakatti bringing you this show of a global gupshup presentation of iAsia News. I'm really happy to see you all today, and you can watch my show every week live on both Facebook as well as YouTube. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll try to bring a very quality, informative shows just for you through Asia News. Excuse me. Like I said, thank you so much for joining. And folks, today I have also an exciting topic to share with you all because we will be discussing something that's very, I would say, most critical and also has taken a precedence or a preference in all of our lives. If I ask you, like, if you can you all guess what that is? Well, let me tell you we all are going through right now. That is making the right decision. Well, but how? Do you think we all are making the perfect decision all the time? Like you all are aware, we all are aware of it, that we are going through the most difficult time, and not only us, the entire world is facing as well. And it's not an easy task for all of us to remain focused and also happy during this critical time. So we constantly are trying to distract ourselves from the predicament. And so, friends, today's show is all about that. And we are going to learn about those secret tools, like how we can keep ourselves happy and also content and also achieve those goals of ours unconditionally, because it's the most important thing at this point right now. So our guest says that we can achieve the success, of course, and with the great results and still be happy as well. Even during the period of pandemic. So it's just that you have to follow just a few rules, and it's absolutely possible. So I'm talking about the person who is a president and a pastor of a significant, this ancient Vedic spiritual and multicultural welfare charity, ISKON Temple Dallas here, and also he has served as a national and international leader in a sizable worldwide organizations that spanning more than 180 countries. So he is born in idyllic, beautiful Fiji Islets, and they graduated as an attorney, financial accountant 40 years ago. He's very, the man has such a great wisdom, and I'm so excited. And he actually graduated at Auckland University, New Zealand, served as an advisor to the Prime Minister, and he participated, and in the leadership of various organizations such as a Fiji Manufacturer Council, Chamber of Commerce, and Industry and Consumer Council, and more. And he's also a family man. He's married with two sons and four wonderful grandchildren as well, and served as a spiritual leader since 1983. So I think it's our blessing and pleasure that he moved to Dallas, Texas in 1993. And he teaches, trains, and coaches talented persons, professionals, business owners, corporate executives who need guidance, and institutional leaders. And in leadership, spirituality, consciousness, development, you name it, and especially the life strategies and wellness. And he also coaches trainers who themselves train teachers in the field of wellness and life strategies and business. So he's none other than Nityananda Swamiji, and we all are so much aware of him. He is really well known in the community. So it's my pleasure to welcome him to the show Global Gupshup, Nityananda Prabhuji Swamiji. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining. It's such a great pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. A very good morning to you, Anuji, and a very good morning, noon, lunchtime, evening, wherever you are in this world, to all of you who are listening live right now, or will be seeing this later as a recording. Welcome to all of you. So happy to have all of you. So happy to speak. So happy to share the knowledge I have with you. And so honored that you will allow me to share some of the information that we'll be talking about today. Thank you so very much.
So absolutely, and so this is really a, I would say that this is an apt time, right, discussion that we all are going to do today, especially like we all are looking forward to this, and we all need to keep us going with the positivity and happiness. So like in order to start with, let me start with a very important question. So,
Sure.
you are a life strategy coach, a wellness coach, and then you motivate others. So, what motivates you every day?
What motivates me is life.
Okay.
The purpose, the soul has three natures. These three natures are intrinsic to every person or every living entity that has a soul. The first is that it is alive, and it wants to feel alive. It wants to be lively. It wants to be enlivened, like that. This is its sat feature, And then there is a feature that we like to know things. We like to know things in a way that we can become very happy. So this is the chit feature, and then the ananda feature, sat chit ananda, like that, right? So the idea is that we're all looking for a complete life of knowledge and happiness, and that what we're ultimately all looking for is complete satisfaction. The word that is used in the Vedas is suprasidati. Prasiddha means somebody who is successful and happy and satisfied. That person's said to be prasiddha. Just like, say, for example, if I'm very hungry and then I eat a nice meal and I feel very satisfied after the meal, that's called I'm in a state of prasiddha. You know what I mean? I am now satisfied. You see what I'm saying? And I'm in a good mood, like that. Su, whenever the word su is put in front of it, the syllable su, it means the greatest. So we're all seeking the greatest satisfaction, the complete satisfaction. Until we get there, we keep thinking, I still have to do more. Something's still missing. I have to work harder. I have to try this. I have to try that. So this pursuit of complete satisfaction is what enlivens me the most, especially when I see that others also get enlivened when they understand this nicely, and then they're able to do that in their lives. And every person can actually achieve this. Even the weakest of the weakest can achieve this. It's just knowing the process.
That's really very interesting, because I know that we all run behind success, and we all try to find that so-called the happiness in whatever we have to consistently trying different things. So
Right.
like as we know, like many things play a vital role in our life when we seek for that so-called success. And how do we know that which one is the one that's the best fit for us, or how do we start, where do we start, how do we know this is yes, this is it?
Very good. In this regard, I want to speak about two
Uh-huh.
sets of 5 gems. These 10 gems will actually create everything in your life. Even the very first one, any one of them will create great success. When you put these 10 together, it becomes so powerful that you can understand how you're now going to have complete satisfaction, how you're going to reach that point where you feel like, okay, I'm completely satisfied, like that, in this way. So the first is that the first 5 gems talks about how do we become successful no matter where we are, whether we're in the United States, whether we're in India, whether we're in China, or whatever country we might be in, whether we're on planet Earth, we might be in some other planetary system, whether we're in the material world or in the spiritual world. The very first thing, the first 5 gems that we come across is that one should have a good attitude in life. The attitude should be one of being a winner, of being a successful person. It's like when I train billionaires, I tell them the first thing I want you to do is to imagine yourself as a billionaire. If you can't even imagine yourself as a billionaire, then how are you ever going to make it to that stage? Because imagination is so much easier, right? It's so much easier for me to imagine who I am as opposed to who I really am. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing is raise your imagination, raise your desires to that level where you can have happiness in your life, success in your life, the things that you feel will make you really blessed, feel very accomplished like that.
Mhm.
And then the second thing is, know what you love in your life. Every one of us is different. All of us are unique beings. And so as a unique being, I will have some things that I really love in my life that maybe others don't have so much of a choice for, right? They make their own choices. Now, some look similar, but it's never exactly the same. It's never exactly the same. So just like, for example, those who want to become billionaires, I'm going to use billionaires a lot because in this world, money counts for a lot.
Yes.
Actually, they said in
Totally.
Kali Yuga, people will worship money, you know? And it's no surprise that on the American dollar bill, it says, in God we trust. You know, the money becomes like the God. You see what I'm
Great
saying?
analogy.
So anyway, so the point is that when somebody wants to become a billionaire, many become billionaires in different fields, right? Somebody wants to sell a product, and the product is different. Somebody wants to sell a service, the service is different. So they're unique ways of becoming a billionaire or a billionaire, unique ways, right? So the idea is understand yourself better by, you know yourself, like, what do I really love doing in my life? Just to make a list
Right.
and keep adding to that list or subtracting from that list. And within a month, you will know for sure what you really love in your life now. What you might want later is going to come later, because we're going to use success to drive success. If you are happy, you can create more happiness. Happiness comes from happiness. Happiness does not come from anxiety, stress. From anxiety comes more anxiety. From stress comes more stress. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
the second thing is know what you love doing in your life. Okay. So now we're going to pursue the things we love, right? So that's going to make us better anyway. But now we are happier, right? Then the third thing is understand your nature. You know, who are you really? I mean, what is your nature? Are you a person who is more like a intellectual person? Are you more like a hands-on person that likes to produce things? Are you more a person who's like an administrator? I'd like to lead people in this world and be an administrator. Or are you a person who's like a businessman, farmer, you know? So these are four that are given in the Vedas. Are you Brahminical by trade, Brahminical by nature? Are you a Kshatriya by nature, Vaishya by nature, or Shudra by nature? All of these will work, by the way. It's just a question of know yourself, because I often give the example when I'm giving talks, you know, large talks, and I'm sitting on a chair and I have a microphone in front of me. I'll put the microphone on the ground, sit on the microphone, and pick up the chair and speak through the chair. That's why I always ask for a light chair to sit on, you know. And so people wonder, why are you doing that? And I said, if I'm a chair, I should not use myself as a microphone. And so understand your nature, and there are ways to understand nature. There are methodologies out there, and if anybody doesn't know, they can approach me. I can tell them how to do it. It's a very simple process. And then the fourth part is that we are spirit souls, right? We are Atma. We are spirit soul. When the spirit soul leaves the body, we say so and so departed. You know, Mr. Smith departed, Mr. Singh departed. You see what I'm saying? But the body is quite there. It looks exactly the same. It doesn't look any different. It's just it's not breathing anymore. It's not moving anymore. Why? Because the Atma left. The spirit is who we really are. The body is like a clothing. Just like you're wearing a dress, the dress is a clothing over you. You see what I'm saying? Yes, the dress is important, but you are more important than the dress. You see what I'm saying? And you'll have a new dress tomorrow to wear and a dress after that. So this spirit, understanding who you are, the spirit, and getting that spiritual knowledge is very important, because that's going to drive your greatest success. And then, so all these four, when you put them together, your attitude, your affinities, your nature, and your spirituality together, and connect them to your environment, which is the universe. So the universe is your location. Where are you now? What are you doing? Be connected where you are before you start connecting where you want to be. Because if you're not connected to where you are, just like if you're on a car to go from Dallas to New York, the car better be sitting on the ground in Dallas. If it is floating in the air, it's not going to go anywhere. It's got to get on the ground so that it can drive forward and get to New York one day. So the idea is to be happy where you are now. If you can't be happy where you are now, you're not going to be happier later where you want to be, because you're not happy anyway. So whatever you are, more of the same will happen, you know? And there's a very nice saying in English: if you keep doing the same things you've done in the past and expect a different result, then that's called insanity. You know what I'm saying? So these are the first 5 gems. Now the second 5 gems comes with these 5 gems, and that is, the first thing is, have a focus in your life. Decide now, where do you want to really go in your life? What is your destination that you're looking for? You can change the destination over a period of time, but at least pick a destination now. Pick a goal, something that you feel will excite you. Because the bigger the goal, the more excited you're going to be. So how I say it is, the bigger the why, W-H-Y, the bigger the why, the more you're going to become successful in your life.
Right,
see?
Right.
And then the second is, now that you've chosen that's what you really want to do in your life, don't resent the fact that you'll have to do some things to get there. Right? You'll have to make some effort. You can't resent the fact that, I have to wake up in the morning, I have to do this, I have to do that. No, don't feel resentful. If you really love what you do, you will not resent what you have to do to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? Just like when a boy falls in love with a girl, right? And he really, really, really is pursuing her, and she has no interest in him. And he's really pursuing her, he really wants. He's going to do everything on the planet. He's going to move, the land and the sky to try and reach that girl. You see what I'm saying? He's not going to resent the fact that he had to buy some flowers, or to buy some chocolates, or he had to write nice poetry, or whatever he has to do to win that girl over. You see what I'm saying?
True.
To get himself, do a makeover on himself so he looks a little more presentable, has a better job or better business, something that might impress her, or, talk to her friends to find out what she likes, so that I can, become. So it's like that in life. So you have to think of your ultimate focus as your soulmate. Just like, we choose our soulmates in this world. We think this person's the one that I love the most. And the two of us, when we get together, we'll be the happiest people in creation. You see what I'm saying? We just have to get together. You see what I'm saying? So in the same way, you have to think of your final destination as like that. Something I really love, so deeply love, that for me, it's a romance. My life is a romance. It's a living romance. It's a living dance. I'm dancing every day in my life because I love what I do, and I know where I'm going. And I'm so excited to get there that everything that comes in the way is just a small obstacle, a small impediment that I'm going to easily overcome because I'm so excited and I'm doing the right things, you see?
Right.
Then the third thing is be sincere. Choose what you want, not somebody else telling you. If somebody else tells you you should love this, it's fine. But if you think you should love it, that's going to be better. You see what I'm saying? And then the fourth thing is don't give up on the way, because there are going to be obstacles. There will be some difficulties, and there are ways to overcome this, and we'll talk about this today, how to overcome those obstacles so that you reach your goal. Don't let anybody stop you or anything stop you from becoming successful. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the fifth thing, know that the way the Lord, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how God himself, and people know God by different names, by the way, that's okay, I'm okay with that. The point is that you should know that the way God arranged everything is that we are his children. Now imagine I was the richest man in the world. Imagine that I am, say, Jeff Bezos. I'm the richest man in the world, and I have a son or a daughter, right? Well, obviously, I want my son or daughter to do better than I did, right? And I've already done so much, but I want my son and daughter to do better. So how fortunate they're going to be. They're not going to have money problems. They're not going to be short of any support or anything like that, because I'm so wealthy, I can get them anything they want on their way to success, right? Okay, but we can't compare a rich man in this world to God. God is much greater, and we are all his children. And he promises in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Konte tu prajitanihi name bhakta pranashat. He says, my promise is that my devotee will never fail. So what does it mean to be devotee? It means to be devoted to God. It means I should love God. And what is the simple way to say I love God? Just say to God, I love you. I mean, how hard is that? You don't have to go to a big temple. You don't have to do, headstands and everything else that religious people will tell you you have to do. This is why people like me, because I'm not interested in pushing religion. I'm interested in pushing the happiness of the person. And I know that that person is God's child. All that person has to do is get in touch again with God. And once they're back in touch, God will take care of everything, and that person is going to be the happiest person in creation. So have that hope in your heart that God will do that for me. But first, I have to turn to God, right? I have to say to God, I love you. I want to be with you. You are my eternal Father. Obviously, this is the first relationship. And if you can't honor the first relationship of your life, how are you going to honor the relationship after that? If like they say, charity begins at home, right? If I can't be charitable in my own home, how am I going to be charitable outside my home? You see what I'm saying? If I'm not nice to my own family members, how I'm going to be nice to other people outside my family.
Right,
You see what I'm
right.
saying?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
yes. So basically, this is the fifth principle in the second five gems, that one should have that hope in one's life that since I am a child of God and God wants me to be successful, then what can stop me? Who can stop me? Nothing can
Definitely.
stop me. You see what I'm saying? And we become
Yes.
hopeful. And once you become hopeful, now God says, okay, this person is ready for me to give some nice assets to, because this person's understood things properly and won't misuse the assets, won't use the assets to harm other people. Because if you have a lot, more than you need, use it to serve other people. It's just like in any family,
Hmm.
there may be more than one child. Parents like it when the children can get together, they help each other out, they're nice to one another, they love one another, they play together nicely. If one becomes very rich and the other one's not so rich, the rich one helps the other one out. So in this thing, it's all in the family. There's no question of I owe you or you owe
You
me,
or
or
me.
the mother
Right,
sending a
right,
bill to the child, or the
right.
father sending a bill to the child and saying, I took care of you for 21 years. By the way, they say in America, an average child costs $750,000 to raise. He doesn't give me a $750,000 bill and say, now you're 21, please repay the 750,000 and here's the interest rate. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that. He did that out of love. And
Right,
so God
right.
does that out of love too. He gives us everything. Look, He's given us a beautiful body, a
Hmm.
beautiful mind, beautiful intelligence. All this, these are priceless.
Right,
How much He's
right.
given us. So He loves us so much. He's giving us so much. At least recognize Him for that. Thank Him for that. If we're grateful, then, like Mother Earth says, the thing that hurts me the most about the people on this planet is those who are ungrateful. So be very grateful for what you already have. Now you'll get more. But first, if you're grateful for what you have, then you deserve more. If you're not grateful for whatever you already have, then why you should be given more so that you can become more ungrateful? That should not happen,
Well,
right?
well, look, pardon me for interrupting, but like it sounded very interesting to know all the gems. Like, it's like, love yourself and feel blessed, and
Yes,
see what your goal is and focus on
yes,
it, and then
yes,
fix your attitude and work towards so hard and never give up
right.
so easily, and so many of those. And they never come with the challenges, of course, and then definitely we need to address those. But what you said at the last, that is like very interesting to me, because you said that love God, and we just like even though we said it in a funny way that some people love money as their God. So sometimes it can be like a misunderstanding, misdirectional or something, like what how I mean, there is something called greed, and after all, with a human being it comes with that. No matter how many of the positive directions that you are trying to lead,
Right.
that could be sometimes slip. And so what is your take on it? Like how do they realize what their path they're taking is wrong or right? So
Oh,
especially
very good.
time like this, whether it's an opportunity or a challenge, and what are those?
Very good question. Very excellent question. Because this is
Thank you.
this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and as a result of which they have so many difficulties in their lives. The
Hmm.
first point is there is only one God. Ultimately, there is one God, the origin of everything. He's called in Sanskrit Sarva Karana Karana, means the cause of all causes. Okay, so when you say God, even if you don't know the name, and then there's so many different names, and we might become confused, or there may be conflicts. Don't worry about it. If you just say God, God knows who God is, right? And all the false gods will hear nothing because they're not gods. How can they hear? You see your message. Only the real
Right,
God will hear, right? Okay.
right, right.
So if you say to God, I love you, and then have that faith that God is going to direct you as Paramatma inside, He's also going to direct you, then externally, you also find people who are like that, who are interested in God, who are honest people, not people just because they're in some religion, because most religious leaders are not very honest. They're
Hmm.
looking for money, they're looking for fame, they're looking to become mini gods themselves. That's not what the purpose of religion is. The purpose of religion is to love God. So to love God, it's a free process. It's not a priced process. You know what I mean? That you have to pay this much. Now, you might give donations out of your heart, things like that. That's fine. But the point is that how do you know you're properly guided is by three processes. These three processes are talk to God every day yourself. You see what I'm saying? You talk
Connect.
to God yourself. Okay, when you talk to God, He will reveal three sources from which you'll get information. One is His own scriptures, because He has spoken so much about different things, right? The Bhagavad Gita is there, the Bhagavatam is there, the Shiv Puran is there, the Brahma Puran is there. Different Puranas are there, right? The Vishnu Puran is there. So there are many, many scriptures. Okay, that's one. The second is sadhus. Sadhus are people who are honest. They're interested in serving other people, not because they're looking for three things that people look for in this world that binds them to this world. Those three are called dhanam, janam, and sundarim. Dhanam means they're looking for wealth. People are chasing money like anything, And then janam means they're looking for followers, so that those followers will serve me and I will live like a king, is what I'm saying, or queen. And sundarim means that I'm looking for sensual, like sex life and things like that. So I pursue other people for that type of sensual enjoyment. You see what I'm saying? The sadhu has gone past these three. The sadhu knows these three are not the most powerful. There is much more powerful than that. And that what is most powerful is love. There is nothing more powerful than love. And love means true love, not lust. Because love means if I say I love you, that means I'm interested in your happiness, not my happiness. Because if I'm interested in your happiness so that you'll be interested in my happiness, then that's business. That's called lust. You see what I'm saying? Not totally, that type of love. Pure love, pure-hearted love, like the mother has for the baby, the baby can't do much for the mother. The baby can only do 3 or 4 things. It can eat, it can poop, it can cry, and these are the things that it does. But the mother is completely in bliss with the baby. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because the mother has so much love for her baby. You see what I'm saying? That's real love, right? True love.
Right.
So the sadhu has true love for all living entities. The sadhu knows all of these are children of God. And if I look after, I'm also a child of God. These are children of God. If we can live nicely together as children, our Father will be happy and all the arrangements will be made. He's made the arrangements anyway. I did not create planet Earth. I did not create Dallas. I did not create, all this was created by God. And it's my playing field, right? It's my it's my sporting field. I'm sporting in this place. I'm having a nice time, free of charge. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting, a planet to live on, a nice city to be in, nice friends, nice food, nice clothing, nice house, nice everything, right? All being provided really, ultimately, by God. So, but in association of others. So others are also involved. It's not like others not. The law is involved. There's a title to my land. This, that, and the other, the city is involved, others, but these are also children of God, you see. So if we see that in that light, and we see that the service that we are doing as a result is actually an expression of our love for God. Like if you take it this way, that you're going to work, and the work that you're going to do is your expression of love for God, you're going to do a better job of that work. Because now you're not going to hate the work, you're not going to think, I hate my boss, I'm not getting enough pay, this, that, and that. Instead, you're going to be a good attitude person, and the boss will promote you, you'll get more pay, you'll come out to be a big boss yourself one day. You see what I'm saying? So the idea
do you think the patients play a very important role in that? Because I like the one that applies what you just said, that, some people like, okay, I worked for 3 months, 6 months, a year, or even 2 years, and I never get noticed. And so I think that also could be one of the reasons for...
No, patience is definitely important. But before patience, there are 2 other things that come. The first thing that comes is enthusiasm. If you don't show enthusiasm in what you do, you're not going to be able to be very successful in this world. And the second is little determination. You got to stick in there. You got to make it happen. So then the patience will really work for you as well. And you will need the patience because you're confident the result is going to come. Therefore, you're patient, right? If you're not confident the result is going to come, then you lose your patience. You see what I'm saying? So patience comes because of confidence that it will work, the system will work. And then the third thing that I was going to say was, first I said, scripture. The second is sadhus. The third is a person who can be a real well-wisher. Now, this person is described in scripture as guru. Guru means your ever well-wisher, who wishes you well, no matter you're up or down, left or sideways, down, any direction you're going, that guru is going to work with you because that guru loves you, just like a mother loves her son. Even if the son is not doing very well in his life, even if he becomes a murderer, the mother will say, no, my son cannot murder anybody. My son is very nice. You know what I'm saying? Because she loves her son so much. So similarly, a guru is like that. Not the way the gurus are now. In Kali Yuga, the gurus are more, you serve me. You give me donation. You come and touch my feet. You come and, praise me. It's all for me, right? And I'll do for you just so that you can do more for me. See what I'm saying? That's not guru. That's not guru. Guru means who is full of love, pure love
Right.
for the disciple, so the disciple will be happy. Not taking advantage of the disciple, rather letting the disciple take advantage of him or her, like that. So these three will help us guide. They become like the gyroscope. You see what I'm saying? And then the Lord is speaking from the heart, and externally there are these three persons, Guru, Sadhu, and Sastra. They are actually supporting. And so now you will know what to do, the right thing to do. And for that, the most powerful thing, it is said in Kali Yuga, is build good Sangha, association, Sat Sangha. Have good association. Have the association of people who will help you in this way and support you so you can become successful. Because for success, there are three things that are necessary. You need to have freedom. If you're not free, you cannot be successful. Meaning you have freedom of choice, freedom of action. The second is you need resources. If you don't have the right resources, you cannot be successful. And the third is you need good support system. So if you give these three things to a person, the freedom, the resources, and the support, you're setting them up for success. Otherwise, you're setting them up for failure. That's the idea.
Right. So the success definitely is one of the the major ultimate goal that we all focus on when we start anything, even it's a small or big. But
Yes.
there is always a like a bigger challenges like the one that we are going through, and whatever we plan, how well we plan, or something that we are like so organized and everything is going in a right way, and we have no control over something like this as like what we're facing. So what do you think? Like, do you also think that this is an opportunity, or like this challenge is really big for us? So how do we take this one as?
Right, good. The opportunity in this challenge is to raise your success above the challenge. Like this. Like, say, for example, you're doing business, right? So what is the purpose of the business? The purpose of the business is to make some profit, right? So when will profit happen? Profit will happen when your income is greater than your expenses, right?
Correct.
So think of your challenges as your expenses. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. So how do you overcome the biggest challenge? By having an even bigger opportunity, right? If the opportunity is bigger than the challenge, then you can overcome the challenge. Otherwise, you'll become bankrupt, right? Because if the expense is more than the income, then you will become bankrupt. You see what I'm saying? You'll lose. So the idea is the most powerful opportunity is to love God. You see what I'm saying? That's the greatest opportunity. And then all the other opportunities below that are going to be little smaller, becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, right? So at least go for the biggest opportunity while you're going for whatever you love to do. That's why I said that after affinities comes nature and then spirituality. So in the spirituality, you are choosing a goal that is so big, so high, that your other goal, when it links with that other goal, the bigger goal, will also get pulled into the highest goal itself. You see what I'm saying? So in money terms, let's put it this way. Say, for example, I want to become a millionaire. Okay? Then the best way to do it is to try to become a billionaire. Because when you try to become a billionaire, automatically becoming a millionaire is going to be very easy, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the same in life, that we choose the highest goal first. The highest goal is prema marto aman. It says, there's a saying that real love of God is the greatest thing that a human being can achieve in this world. Okay, go for it. Go for the rhinoceros, go for the rhino. You know what I mean? Shoot for the moon here. Because when you do that, and then you add your little bit and couple it with it, So it's like the Endeavor is flying, and then, there is a rocket that's flying on top of that. Then, that, the rocket is carrying the Endeavor. Then the Endeavor can get into space because the rocket carries it there. You see what I'm saying? So in the same way, in our life, if we love God, it will carry us to any one of the things that we love doing at the highest level. Because that's what God is. God thinks things at the highest level. Like if you ask Jeff Bezos to do something, he's not going to do something that's worth a few $1,000s. He's not going to do it. He's too much interested in becoming a trillionaire now. He's not even interested in being a billionaire, by the way, because he's already a billionaire. He's now looking how he can become trillionaire. You see what I'm saying? Now, for us, obviously, that's a little too high, trillionaire. At least let's get to millionaire first, then billionaire, then trillionaire, right? But at least we can shoot for billionaire now. But in the spirituality, you can shoot for the highest immediately. How great is that? So shoot for the highest, and in the process, everything that you want to do rises to the highest automatically because it's going to attract it. It's going to pull it up. You see what I'm saying? So
So you're
that is
saying
the
when
way.
you become spiritually a trillionaire, so that you will automatically by default just disconnect with the materialistic and you become the highest
Yes,
achiever of that.
yes, because material is part of spiritual. Just like your dress is part of you. You are not part of your
Absolutely.
dress. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
You are the
Right.
superset. The dress is a subset. If the
Right.
superset is happy, the dress will
Right.
automatically be happy, right?
It will be
How
right.
the dress not
Right.
going to be happy if you're happy? You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
That's
So
that's
the same.
wonderful. Yes.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's
That's
true spirituality, by the way. The problem is in this world, people have a lot of bogus spirituality. They talk about spirituality, but they have these three things in mind, chasing money, chasing followers, and chasing women or men or same sex, other sex. People chase
right.
everything these days. I mean,
Right.
it's like,
Right. Right.
so the
Very
point is that
totally.
chasing sensuality like that. That's what people are mostly doing. And then they're calling it religion, spirituality, charity, this, that, and the other. But in actual fact, if you scratch the surface, you will see that's not what it is. It's something else, There's
Yes.
some
Yes.
hypocrisy going on here, that type of
Yes.
thing. That's the
So
problem.
when it comes to chasing success, and I know that we talked a lot about different paths and then different formulas and different strategies that we can approach that one. But but the success or the challenges do not come one size fits all for everyone, because it's
Yes.
very unique for each person. And if I
Yes.
understood correctly what you said, then like what you said, that failure is not really a fatal, but it is an encouragement to continue with the experience, and doing more and more will give you even more success. Is
Right.
that correct? Okay.
Yes, that's
So,
right.
okay. So how do one that recognize that and then move forward to that with that?
Yeah. So there are three parts to that. The first part is get the information that you need to become successful in whatever you. So once you've chosen that this is what I like to do in my life, then get information about it, right? You get the
Okay.
knowledge about it so that you can then achieve what you want to do. Because without the knowledge, you will not be able to do it. You see what I'm saying? Because remember the three intrinsic parts of the soul: Sat, Chit, and Ananda. You need Chit. The Chit is the knowledge potency, right? To know what to
Okay.
do, like that.
Okay.
Okay. Then the second thing is, now that you know the knowledge, you need to understand it properly in your life. So the best way to do that is to have a mentor who has succeeded on that path,
Oh,
right? Because the
okay.
mentor will
Yes.
show you, I've succeeded doing this. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is copy success, right? It's
Right.
so much easier to
Right.
copy success than to create the success. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just like, when the Japanese started selling cars,
Mm-hmm.
initially they just copied the German cars and the British cars and other cars. Today, they're the biggest car manufacturers in the world.
Correct.
They
Correct.
improved on it. They copied it and made it better, right? So you can copy from your mentor and make it better. Actually, the mentor wants you to make it better, just like the
Mm-hmm.
teacher wants his student or her student to do better than they did in their own life, right? The teacher
Correct.
did. So that's a good teacher. It's like a good parent wants their children to do better than they did in their life. It's a good
Right.
parent. So in the
Right.
same way, the mentor will be like that. I mean, an honest mentor, not the cheater mentor, like that. Okay, that's the second part. Understand it and apply it in your life properly. But the third part is the most important, and that is teach other people. Because when you
Correct.
teach others, you're going to be a very good student on your own
Mm-hmm.
subject. You see what I mean?
Right.
So if I want to become a billionaire, and that's not why I train billionaires, by the way, but I tell billionaires, if you really want to become a billionaire, start learning to train others to become billionaires and even trillionaires.
Wow.
Start doing that. Because when you do that, you will understand yourself, what you need to
So.
do and not do.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say it to yourself, if you put it in your own language, they say the best way to communicate is to put it in your own words. Like they'll say to repeat. Like, say, for example, I say to somebody, okay, please have focus in your life. Then I say to my students, what did I just say? And they'll say, please have focus in my life. Now they said it in their own words, right? If
So
I said it,
that's
they may not
important.
have accepted it. Now they said it. So I say,
Right.
okay, you said it. Please have
Not
focus.
me.
Now, please make sure you're focused. You said
So,
it. I didn't say it. You said
yes, yes,
it. So
absolutely. So,
it's your own nature coming out, your
right,
own energy speaking up.
right.
And so these are important. So these three things are important: learn, apply, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And the perfection part is teach others, train others. In the
Right,
process, you're going to become very good at what you're doing yourself, like that.
right,
So
right.
this is the way to do it.
Most of the time that when we are in a difficult situation, especially when everything looks so like even though we say that some door will open for me, but you see nothing, you just see the dark everywhere and you just so gloomy. And like and we can't help it from thinking negative. But you also said that more you think negative, you act negative, and it also become negative. So like how do we overcome this one? Like like how can we stop ourselves to think negative, because nothing seems to be working. It's all gloomy out there,
Yeah,
especially like situations like this.
right. So think of it like this. I give this example. There are many ways to talk about this. I'm going to use this example at this time.
Mhm.
Think of it as like, a 1 ounce gold coin, right? It's worth a lot of money nowadays. It's like $1,900, $2,000,
Right.
one ounce
It
coin
does.
of gold. Okay, that gold coin has a head side and a tail side. Right?
Right.
So think of the head side as your opportunities and the tail side as your challenges.
Okay.
So it's not that you don't think about negative. You have to think about negatives because they exist there, right? But
Okay.
the
Yes.
idea is you should understand that in that negative, there is some positive sitting there as well. There is something that, like, say, for example, businessmen, they will tell you often. In fact, recently, the owner of Reliance, Mukesh Ambani, he was
Hmm.
asked, "What does business mean?" He says, "What do you think business means?" And his answer was, "Business means to solve problems. If
Oh.
you solve other people's problems, you're going to make all types of money solving other people's problems." You see what I'm saying? Now, can you solve a problem if there is no problem? Now
Wow.
you can see,
Okay.
right? So the businessman is actually mining for problems. He's looking, where are problems? Problem, please show me a problem. So I can solve it and I can make a lot of money out of solving that problem. You see what I'm saying? Okay,
So you're
so that
saying that
is,
one person may see it as a problem, but the other one may not see it as a problem. Is that
yeah,
correct?
the other one sees it as the ability to rise above the problem and solve it.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
see it as an opportunity in the challenge. You
In the
see,
challenge. Okay.
they see the challenge as opportunity in disguise. So they
Okay.
see
Right.
it that way. Now, by the
Wow.
way, you should see opportunity as challenge in disguise too. Why? Because if you see the opportunity as challenge in disguise, then from that challenge in disguise, you can see an opportunity inside that challenge in disguise, right? So
Totally.
now you're
Totally.
always looking for more challenges so that you can overcome those challenges, and then you get more and more opportunities, and then you actually get the benefit of that opportunity, and you're going to rise higher and higher and higher all the time. You're going to become a better and better and a greater and greater person. You never stop doing that until your last breath. You see, that's
Right.
how it happens. We're
Right.
excited until our last breath. For
Right.
us, we are already retired. Why are we already retired? We love what we do. That's what retirement is, right? If I love what I do, I'm already retired. You don't need to
Right.
look for holidays. I don't need a break. In my 38 years now, I've been doing this. I've not taken
Hmm.
one holiday break. Why?
Oh
Because
wow.
I love what I do. I love
Yes.
what I do. Why do I need to take a break? I'm on
Yes.
break all the time
All
because
the
I love
time.
what I do.
Enjoying what you're doing.
Enjoy what you do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, it may
Yes.
not be enjoyable all the time. You don't
Right.
expect it to be enjoyable all the time because there are challenges, and it's going to
Challenges.
hurt you, and you're going to cry, and you're going to become angry, and you're going to become frustrated. But you know, back of your mind, you know there's a way to overcome this, and you're looking for that. You see what I'm saying? How to do that. That's why I really like to study terrorists. Because
Wow.
terrorists are very determined people. You know, against all odds, they're trying to succeed, right?
Wow.
Against all odds, they're trying to succeed. Now, these people, they become successful against all odds. We don't even have all odds. We have some odds. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like everything is stacked against us. God in our side. Wow, we got a lot on our side right now, right? The fact that I have a body, I can breathe, I have some friends, I have some food, I have some clothing, I have some shelter. All these things are there. I have so many odds on my side, right? So there are a few odds on the other side. The problem with us is one odd turns up and we start becoming negative about it. Oh, we
Correct.
focus on that odd, but do not focus on
Hmm.
the benefits you have also. So focus on the benefits that we have,
Hmm.
the blessings that we have, and also see the challenges, but see that your opportunities are greater than your challenges. Therefore, you will be able to overcome the challenge. Just like, say, for example, if I got a bill from the tax man tomorrow that says I have to send him $100,000, if I'm a billionaire, $100,000 is nothing, right? But
Right.
if I'm earning only $10,000 a year, 100,000 is going to drown me, right? I'm going to die. I'm going to think, well, how can I pay
Right.
$100,000?
Right.
So the idea is raise your opportunities, then the challenges will become less and less and
Lesson.
less, like that.
So when we talk about, even though we used a negative analogy of a terrorism and their focus, yes, it's absolutely the most critical part that we all, absolutely struggle with. And talking about the like a
Yes.
basic ground level strategy, let's go there. Like I know that we are right now that spoiled, or probably that we are completely like in a stage where we say that, oh, I cannot live without, kind of a thing, because the technology has grown so much that we are day to day life, we are dependent on that. So talking about business, talking about success, and we do have a startup. So for example, let's take this analogy and say like how to apply that one, like a focus. With all the things that we have as it is, because of the situation, we don't have enough patience. So we easily get distracted. Oh, this one is not working, so let's not wait for the other one. So the patience is a virtue here, but we are not paying much attention to that, and we immediately switch to the next one because we think that it is definitely going to work because this one is not working. So is this a good thing to do, for, like, do you think that it is a good analogy to follow for, I mean, the good strategy to follow towards success? Or is this going to hurt us if we don't have enough patience to see the result?
Yeah, okay, very good. Very good point. So basically, it really depends a little on the specific situation you're in. If
Okay.
you chose your goal to do something in a certain way, you've determined this is what I want to do. You see what I'm saying? Then that's your principle, right? The principle is I want to reach the goal. But the
Correct.
strategies on the way might adjust a little bit here and there. You see what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you're
Right.
adjusting strategy, there's nothing wrong with that. Because
Okay.
the different strategies can lead you to a better strategy and a better strategy and a better strategy. So you can do that. But if you adjust your goal every so often, then you're going to have a
Okay.
problem.
Then you're gonna have
Because
a
if you
issue.
adjust the goal, then now you're going to have a new set of strategies for that goal. And you're constantly starting over and over again and over again and over again. You're going back to square one all the time. We
Right.
need to, that's why the first thing we got to determine after you have the right attitude is, I mean, if after you have the right focus, it is to determine, when you have the focus, you have to determine that what is it that I'm really looking for in my life, right?
Right.
Determine that. That's why I said, at least choose the focus of loving God. That doesn't need to change, right? That doesn't need to change. No matter what you're
Right.
doing, that doesn't need to change. So at least
Correct.
that's working. So even if you change some of the other things, it'll readjust because God will help you. How will help
Mm-hmm.
you? He will show you that
Mm-hmm.
this is not good for you or this is good for you by giving you ideas from inside your own consciousness will be speaking, conscience will be speaking, plus your
Right.
support group. Remember, I said you should have a support group around your well
Right.
wishers, your
Right.
well wishers,
Right.
you can bounce the ideas off them, right? And they'll tell you, I think this will work, that won't work. But you make the decision, not they will make the decision. After
Right.
hearing them, you make your best informed decision, is what I'm saying, and move
Right.
forward. And then the results will show you, right? If the results are
Right.
coming, that means you don't need to adjust. If the results are not coming, you might need to adjust a little to create a better result, is what I'm saying. So then
But
the
with
failures,
the sorry to
sorry,
interrupt,
no,
but like what you said, that yes, there is nothing wrong with the adjusting the strategies, but sometimes each strategy will be leading to a very specific goal. So
yes,
if you change the strategy, ultimately it will change the goal. So
yes,
I
you
mean, like,
can't do
is
that.
there, right?
That's true. You
Okay.
can't change the strategy. You can't.
Okay.
Because if it's going to
Okay.
change the goal, then you don't want to change the strategy. Unless you're changing to a higher goal. Like, say, for
Okay.
example, my goal might be I want to earn $1 million. You see what I mean?
Okay.
And the strategy is not working for a million, but it's going to work for a billion. Oh my God. Am I going to change the strategy? Yes. Because it's giving me a
Absolutely.
bigger result. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that
But
is
don't
where the
adjust.
mentor comes, I guess.
That's where the mentor comes in. And also your own idea that you don't want to settle for less. Don't
Okay.
settle for less. Settle for
Okay.
more, but don't
More.
settle for less. You see what
Less.
I'm saying?
Yes,
Unless
absolutely.
it's a temporary settlement for less so that you can get more later. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, say, for
Right.
example, if I end up earning only $500,000, I'll take that and I'll think, wait, next year I should go for more than a million. Now that I did
Correct.
half this year, I have to cover that 500,000 in my next year's goal. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Right.
can do that type of stuff like that.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, and also, like we talked about, like, that we take this so-called challenge towards success as our opportunity. So I know that you mentioned that the bigger the problem or bigger the challenge, it's a greatest the gift to you. So how do we change ourselves, putting ourselves into that, and then take that one as a gift, not an obstacle, or the borderline to just block us from going towards success. How do we
Very
do
good.
that?
Excellent point. So when you choose the highest goal as loving God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the biggest result you're going for. All right. So then now you know that God is going to help you. So if you see it this way, that when you have a big problem and it's stopping you from doing something, then you should know that He's closing a smaller door to open a bigger door. You see what I'm saying? So
Oh, yes.
don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Try to see what is the bigger thing that you can do than what you were just doing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And move to that
Right.
bigger thing. On
Right.
the other hand, if you feel like you really, really want what you are doing, then don't give up either. You keep
Correct.
going down that track, keep pushing it harder and doing better job of it, and you will get the result. But you will also find later that that result was less than what you could have got if you had adjusted at that point. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you have a
Right.
really big problem in your life, whatever the big problem might be, like the pandemic is a good example. The pandemic is a big problem. But those who are adjusting are making more money now than those who keep doing the same thing they were doing in the past. You notice people like J.C. Penney's, Macy's, these are slowly shutting down. Why are they shutting down? And why are other
Oh,
companies
wow.
making more money? Like a good example is Kroger. Kroger
Right.
is making more money now than it did before. Why? Because Kroger switched to same day delivery. Okay, we'll deliver it to you. You can online order. We will make all the items and then we will have it ready for you and you can come and pick it up or we'll deliver it to you. When they started doing that, Kroger's business went up. So you can see that the pandemic is giving us a lot of wonderful opportunities to reach out to people. I can guarantee you, had it not been for the pandemic, you and I would not be speaking today.
Absolutely, you're right. Because I think like choosing the right strategy and the right opportunity, that what it is coming, and just
Good.
guide towards that one and lead towards the
Yes,
right decisions. I think that is
exactly.
like what we said, just talked about, like it's all about making the right decisions and follows few
Right.
rules. Of course, these
Right.
are the very important rules, I believe. So, and also you said that knowledge is the power. So the more
Yes.
you know about your goal, more you know or invest your effort towards something that you want to achieve, and put in a lot of effort in it, and I think you will become more successful towards that one. But how do you, like, for example, what the knowledge that we have, that what we are going to achieve, so how do we invest towards it? Because nowadays another challenge that comes in between, because we do live in a very like a society that has competition, that it's unavoidable, and somebody can definitely steal your idea, but I know that they cannot steal your knowledge. So how do we give ourselves that confidence that, okay, if I have this knowledge, I can definitely be successful no matter what, and when what I'm going to achieve is definitely possible?
Very good. Excellent question. So knowledge comes in three phases, the metaphysical knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, and what's called transcendental knowledge that even transcends spirituality, like that. So the point is that we have to pick up knowledge from all these three areas, not just the metaphysical. A lot of people pick up only metaphysical knowledge and then they get defeated because there is two levels of higher knowledge than that, and that'll defeat them. And then that competition sets in, and then it's like small cake and everybody's trying to get a little crumb from that small cake. But if the cake is very large, everybody's going to get a lot. You see what I'm saying? So the point is, so the idea is that the knowledge that we're trying to get is of these three types. One must pick up on transcendental knowledge, which comes from the Vedas and beyond the Vedas, what is called Bhakti Shastras or Rasa Shastras. And then we need spiritual knowledge because that talks to you about your soul, right? Who you are, who you in essence are. If you don't know yourself, how are you going to do things? If I don't know that I'm a phone, how am I going to use myself as a phone? You see what I'm saying? So, of course, not that the phone needs to know, but the point is the owner of the phone needs to know what the phone is. Use it as a phone. You see what I'm saying? So that's spiritual knowledge. And then metaphysical knowledge tells you how to do things in this world so that you can connect to this world. Because, like, say, for example, if you're in the ocean, your strategy of say, for example, walking is going to change to a strategy of swimming, right? Because you're in the ocean. You can't walk in the ocean. You can swim. Now, when you're on the land, you don't swim on the land. You don't see people trying to swim on the land. They're actually walking on the land. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So the environment is important. That's where the metaphysical part comes in, that you're acting according to your environment, So these three pieces of knowledge is what you need to get. Then you will have power, real power. Otherwise, you'll have partial power.
Okay.
And just like anything, if something is partially powered, it doesn't work as well. You see what I'm saying? When it is fully powered, it works better. Just like the phone, if it has 5% or 6%, power left, you'll notice the phone will start shutting down, right?
Correct.
It'll tell you, sorry, you need to recharge.
Right.
But if the phone is 100% power, then you're fine. You see what I'm saying?
You have more confidence as well.
Yes. So 100% power yourself with the knowledge. That's the idea.
Correct.
That's the idea. Yes.
So this is very important. I think the knowledge, especially that we face this one every single day, because no matter how much knowledge we have, when the obstacle comes, and it's a temporarily, we get very discouraged, we get very nervous, and we just get like, so this is the end of it. So yeah, and with anything, the other kind of a support, so-called, like let's say that, okay, we are very successful, we are billionaires, we are trillionaires, so we also should have something that keep us on the ground. And how does the spirituality play an important role in this one? Like, to what extent that we should be paying more attention to that, and it's inevitable?
Yeah. So basically, if you look at success, that does not include the spiritual part in it, is less than 20% of your capacity. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So spirituality is your other 80% capacity. So like when you become successful at your 20%, you still got another 80% to develop in terms of your potential, right? Wow. So that is why spirituality is important, because spirituality gives you the majority of your success comes from the spiritual arena, not from the material arena. The material arena exists to make sure that the spiritual arena can be mined properly. You see what I'm saying? It's just like we eat food so that we can actually be happy. Right. We don't become happy so that we can eat food. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's the idea. So in the same way, the idea is material life is a precursor to spiritual life, like that. It actually helps us spend more time in spiritual life and achieve that success, because that success is going to drive your happiness far more. Because I personally come from a family that was very wealthy at one time. We lost our wealth because a military coup took place in Fiji, and my father was the leader of the political party, and we lost everything pretty much after that. Wow. The point is that in our lives, if we actually pursue the spiritual side, then what will happen is that the essence of us will have great success in our life. So the idea is that somehow or the other, if we can see everything from the angle that by having spiritual life, then the material aspect of it, the finance aspect of it, the other aspects which are material parts of it, will actually allow us to now live our real life, our complete life, because that's who we really are. The soul is who we really are. Because finances do not affect the soul. Finances affect the body. You see what I'm saying? The mind, the intelligence. These are affected by finance, roti kapda makan issues. These affect these parts. But the soul is affected by love. You see what I'm saying? The soul wants love. That is why in this world they say true love can defeat everything, and everything cannot defeat true love. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's why it's most powerful. So yeah. So the spiritual aspect is very important for us to pursue in our lives for these reasons. That that this way the me part of the life is also alive. Otherwise, it's because it's my body, my intelligence, right? My my ego. But just like when I have a car, it's my car. I am not the car, right? There's a nice saying in our book. We say aham car, right? Aham car means I am the car. Aham car, right? I am the car. Well, you're not the car. You're not the car. You see what I'm saying? You're not the car. You're separate from the car. That's like that. So in the same way, my body, my intelligence doesn't mean that I'm the soul. That soul has that body. The body is not the soul, just like the car is not the person. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So in the same way, try to see who should be happy here. Just like if you're driving a car around, now who should be happy here? The owner of the car or the car?
Right.
We would say both, right? Both should be happy. But it's more important for the owner to be happy.
Right.
You know? And you know, like I was saying, I've met many rich people, because we come from that background ourselves, many rich people that I know who are not happy in their lives. In fact, I know rich people who have committed suicide. You
Right.
know?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Multi-billionaires, I'm talking about multi-billionaires who committed suicide.
Right.
I mean, why would a multi-billionaire commit a suicide? You know what I mean?
Yes.
You would
Yes.
think even if I had $1 million, I'd be happy. What to speak of $1 billion, right?
Correct.
So, but it's fact that even if you have to have the greatest metaphysical success in your life, still spiritual success and transcendental success, if you don't have those, then you will not be completely satisfied. You'll be partially satisfied, just like when you're eating food. Someone gives you a small piece of something to eat. It's not going to satisfy you. You're really hungry, you know. One chapati, one roti is not going to satisfy you. You need a full meal. You want the full enchilada,
right.
you know.
Correct.
So spirituality gives you the full enchilada.
Full enchilada. Oh wow, that's a great analogy. Yes, absolutely.
Full satisfaction.
Yes, yes. Because materialistically, yes, it's the body can be satisfied with that, but when it comes to the soul, then yes, you have to have a whole enchilada to just
the
keep
soul
you
wants
content
more.
and happy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the soul is not happy.
Soulful.
The soul is
absolutely.
not happy. Yeah, the soul is not happy just being a billionaire. It wants to be even more. You know, there's a very good story in that. Hiranyakashipu was an example. He actually became the owner of the 3 worlds. I mean, just planet Earth, if you own, that would be trillions of dollars, right? He owned the whole 3 worlds. He still was not happy. Still, he was not happy.
Right.
So you can imagine, you know, that shows that metaphysical success is incomplete. Just like in education, imagine there's primary school, high school, and university, right? Then just primary school is not enough for education.
Right.
Just primary school and high school is not good enough, but you must have full university now. Now you say you have full education. So life is like that. Metaphysical life is good. Spiritual life is even bigger, and transcendental life is the best. So that's the idea. Go up the system.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have another good question. I know that you have lived in 6 different countries with a great experience, mingled with the different kind of people, culture, heritage, and also you have served as in a different roles. You have worn many hats, as to say, as a I would say like attorney at law and a professional trainer and a marriage counselor, spiritual mentor, and so on. Like so many of those leading roles that you have taken over the last 50 years, that you had a great wisdom from that achieved. And and I'm sure that you have seen many forms of struggle that people have gone through in a different situations. And do you think that they all are their unique opportunities? Because I know there are sometimes that even just looking at it, that is like, if we say that it's an opportunity, it may seems like it's like you're making fun of it, because it's not an easy thing for a person to say that, hey, this is not your difficulty, this is just a real opportunity, and then take this challenge to just make yourself go forward with the success. So have you ever come across that kind of a situation? And then what is your advice on that for people that who are facing it?
There's something I learned very young, in my young life, I learned, which is very good for me. And that is that, well, 2 things. One is that there's a saying in English: if it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger. You see what I'm saying? If it kills you, don't even worry about it. Move on to your next life. Right?
You're gone.
If it doesn't kill you, it should make you stronger,
Right.
And fortunately, in my young days, I went through military training. And, this is very good, because in military training, they make your life very miserable. It's very miserable, 3 times I tried to escape camp. All 3 times I got caught. All 3 times I was given very bad.
Good to know.
And you know what I mean? It's like I had to suffer a lot. And in my life, I went through a lot of suffering as well. And I think that suffering has helped me become a stronger person today, because I survived it and I found ways to deal with it and became a stronger person. You see what I'm saying? So it is true. All of us will go through those challenges. And when you're going through the challenges, you're going to hate it. You're not going to like it. It's going to be very discouraging, sometimes even causes depression and anxiety and things like that. But if you have holding the hand of a person like God and holding the hands of other people around you, who are supportive, who give you good support, then you can pull out of it, and then you become stronger yourself, and now you can reach out to others when they go through those difficulties. It's a little like, imagine that the bigger the problem you have, the less the education you have. So the person who's a pre-kindergarten child has the biggest problem because he knows or she knows nothing. You see what I'm saying? But how do you train a pre-kindergarten child? You teach them A, B, C, D, E, play games, this, that, and the other, and then they start picking up the small pieces of information that allow them to become more and more knowledgeable, until one day become a PhD in something, right? They become a very
Right.
powerful person in some branch of knowledge. So in the same way with life, we have to go through these phases, and as we go through these phases, we actually become better and stronger and happier. Like that. That's the idea.
So this is really a very important thing that we all have to learn. I know that you have learned from Catholicism also, and then also the Hindu and also the other cultures. Uh, so do you all? I mean, do you think that they all lead to the same spiritual guidance that can be approached in a similar way, or even if it's a different way? Then how do we know that this is the right one or the wrong one? I know that we have a lot of differences because in the name of a religion or beliefs and all that thing. So something that we all have to, especially the situation and the time like this, it's important to give a message and also to make them understand what it is. So I think I just want to,
Yeah.
ask you to address that.
That's a very good question. Excellent question. So basically, um, all spiritual faiths that exist out there, if they're genuine spiritual faiths, will talk about the
Mhm.
fact that God exists and that one should actually build a relationship with God. They may do it in different ways and different things happen. There's no need to actually have conflict between these because ultimately there is only one God. So there is no real conflict. The problem is that when we practice our faith in a way that is not what our faith says, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So for
Okay.
example, each of these faiths talks about God, loving God, chanting the holy names of God, this, that, and the other. If we do those things, then yes, we will rise. And as we rise, God will direct us and show us where you can get more information and more information and more information until you succeed. Just like, say, for example, there are many primary schools, there are many high schools, and there are many universities. So like that. So
Mhm.
they all are teaching some branch of knowledge. You see what I'm saying? And so you
Right.
can learn these different pieces of knowledge. But when you come to the highest phase, it starts becoming unified. At the bottom, it's a little more diversified and then slowly becomes more unified. It's like a triangle. You see what I'm saying? It's the
Correct.
preservation. You can notice even in this life, right? If you put
Mhm.
anything underneath a triangle, it preserves better. You can test it out. Take two bananas, put one underneath a square, and put another one underneath the triangle. You'll see the one underneath the triangle will last longer than the one
Longer.
underneath the square. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a
Right.
preserving system, that it has to
Mhm.
rise to a point of
Got.
knowledge. Sometimes
Mhm.
there is a saying in this world that all paths lead to the same destination. That's not actually true. It is true that all paths will lead you somewhere. And hopefully
Mhm.
that somewhere is going to be better than where you are. But to get to the
Mhm.
very best, you have to keep rising. And the beauty is, God does actually allow us to see that,
Okay.
in our lives. He does allow
Yeah.
us to understand that more and more and more. And so we will come to the right thing. The main thing is to have that genuine desire in your heart. If you have a genuine, that's why I said the third gem. Remember when I said focus, be unresentful, then I said sincere. Be
Mhm.
sincere, you see. If you're
Right.
sincere means you honestly want to love God. You're not interested in the conflicts. You're not interested in
Not
fighting
okay.
with other people and trying to prove yourself better than others. You're
Right.
simply trying to come to know God. And if you have that genuine desire, the Lord will reveal everything to you, clearly reveal everything to you. And everything will
Right.
become nicely unified. But we need to unify. We don't need to divide ourselves based on religion and spirituality. Let's unify on the basis of these things. Now, this world will become Vaikuntha. It'll become a happy place for everybody. It'll be heaven on earth, right? Why wait to go to
Right.
heaven when heaven can be brought right here?
That's true. That's true.
That's
So
the idea.
that's thank you so much for such a wonderful, the conversation and also like answering all the, these critical questions for the time like this one. And it's very precious and very like a knowledge, the based show today. So I hope everyone liked it, and thank you so much for everyone. And
Thank you
on
so very much.
behalf of Ayesha team, I want to thank you for joining today and then giving us your wisdom, sharing it, and giving us a great advice on all of these things. And looking forward to more of these in the future as well. And
Yes.
like if you, for our viewers, I know that you all have many, many questions. So we will try to address them as well. And also, like I'll try to reach out to you, and then, maybe we can also contact Nityananda Swamiji to just, address those in the, like privately. But thank you so much for your support, and join us again from like Asia News Media and Global Gupshup will be bringing more and more such shows for you. And if you want, join us. Like the like I said, the recording will be there for you to watch later after. Also, give us your feedback. Keep supporting us, and really appreciate all the the comments and everything for today. So thank you so much for joining.
Well,
See you
thank you
next
so very
week.
much. Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you to
sir.
all of
Thank you
the
so much,
viewers.
Swamiji.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. And in future,
Absolutely.
we'll have more programs. We can talk about the practicalities, how to practically apply these principles and become
Bef-
truly successful.
yeah, before we also leave, I know that you mentioned something that the website is coming up for a launch for you. So just if you can give a quick address that we can also give, like all of our viewers can visit, and then like get more of you, the whatever that you are going to share on the website as well.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much. Appreciate it, and again, join me next week on Global Gupshup. Thank you.
All the best. Thank you so very much.